In this video, I'm showing the technique for slowing up the airplane. I use full flaps, and if I need to, I'll even use a little bit of a slip to get down to my touchdown point. But I use power for energy management. Okay, I'm not sure if your brain had you faked out at that point, but it is a Model RC airplane. Over the last year, I've met a bunch of great people, and a few of them stand out. Adam is one of them. He's always on my channel. He's super positive. On top of it, he's a great craftsman, and I appreciate anybody that puts in the effort and time to turn out something of the quality that Adam does. So take a little time and check out his channel. It'll be time well spent.
That's what an FMS Super Cub usually looks like. And this is what our FMS Super Cub looks like. What's up everybody, you're watching Model Aviator, my name's Adam, and as you can tell, our FMS Super Cub is a little different. In today's video we're going to take you through everything we did to this to make it look the way that it looks. We'll show you some great flying footage, but first we thought we'd tell you what inspired us to do this in the first place. And something I saw on Greg's YouTube channel is what inspired this airplane. So we're going to show you some footage from Greg's channel, Mall Guy, right now. See if you can figure out what inspired this. Check this out. I never get tired of watching that footage. The fact that that man can take off and land on rocks that I could get a Jeep stuck in, it never ceases to amaze me. And as far as what inspired this, I'm sure that was pretty easy to figure out. Greg has a full-scale Super Cub that he built from a Javron kit, and it looks like this. That was the inspiration for this. And that said, I have to really give a big shout out to Greg Miller. I corresponded with him via email, asked his permission to build a model of his airplane. He helped a great deal along the way, answered a ton of questions, sent me some pictures, and made trying to get this as close as I can, considering it's a foamy, much easier than it would have been without his help. So Greg, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us to use some of your footage in our video, and we just hope that we do you and your plane justice. So with that, so Greg doesn't have a spinner on his Javron Cub. The FMS Super Cub comes with a large spinner backplate that covers a really large hole in the front of the cowling. The hole's much larger than scale. You never see it because of the spinner backplate normally, so I had to make the hole in the front of the cowling scale size. And to do that, we used some strip styrene, some millimeter thick, and cut a piece to fit and siliconed it into the cowling. Used a little body filler, some sanding and some paint, and made the hole the correct size. We're also actually using the spinner backplate because there is a hex that is on the prop adapter on the FMS Super Cub, and we need a hex on whatever kind of propeller backplate that we use to go over that. So we just used the one that came with it and cut the spinner backplate down, and that worked out. Alright, so now we're going to get to the fun part, the flying. But before we do, I just wanted to point a couple things out. At the end of the video, we're going to post our setup like we do a lot of times. It's important that you understand this is a very mission-specific setup. About 1/6 1/4 scale, best we can tell from our math. So that means that to mimic Greg's landing distances, we need to land within 16 to 24 feet. So that's what we built the airplane to do. We actually added mass, we took power out with a throttle curve so that our climb rate would be scale, and that's what you're going to see. Here we're going to do a little bit more of a stall takeoff. Not trying too terribly hard, but that was a good bit shorter than the conventional takeoff. On this landing, we're going to mimic what Greg Miller does when he's going into a backcountry strip that he hasn't been into, and we're going to wheel land it. It's going to be a stall landing, not as slow as we can get it, but pretty slow. A lot shorter than the conventional landing. Now we're going to land across the runway. This is pretty much a full-on stall landing. I'm going to contact the ground here about as slow as I can get the airplane to go. Coming in across the runway over the hill just to add a little bit of challenge, and the slow motion really shows you what that articulating gear does. And that's exactly what we want. Main wheels first and short. The bush pilots are the only guys you'll find that argue over who got the shortest one.
Bubba!
I'm talking about runways. What do you think I meant?